What's going on, everybody? Brian here, and in this video I'll be showing you all of the applications that I currently have installed onto my iPad 2. Now this iPad 2 is running iOS 4.3.0, bought it on launch day, been happy with it ever since, although I do have the light bleeding issue, and the next time I go to a city with an Apple store I'll just go ahead and get a replacement. But this video I'm just going to show you all of the applications that I currently have installed. I do have installers. I just took this from my iPhone, code signed it with Xcode, and installed it onto my iPad 2. It doesn't actually install apps because there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to make, or that you need to make changes to from the file system to actually install cracked apps. But I use it for downloading apps, and I'll just transfer them to my computer, code sign them with Xcode, and install it so that I could try them. But all of the apps that I have installed onto my iPad 2, all of these are paid for. So first I'm going to start in my other folder. And I have iBooks. I haven't even opened this app in quite a while. I do have 3 books that I'd like to read, but I just never did. Next up is the Nightstand app. Great app for just using your iPad as a clock. Next up is Quick Office. I use this for viewing presentations and for taking notes during classes and lectures. It has Dropbox integration, which is great for me because I use Dropbox as my cloud file sharing service. Next up I have Remote, which lets me control iTunes on my computer. It's great for when I'm gaming and I don't want to minimize the game to adjust the track. I could just use the Remote application on my iPad 2, and I could just change the songs, adjust the volume, and things like that. Next up I have What's On, which is the preferred app I use for figuring out what's on TV. I don't use the TV Guide app because it's cluttered. It doesn't show all of the channels for my cable provider, and this one's just neater, simpler, and it works very well. So that is my other folder. In my social folder, there's not really much stuff here. Most of my instant messaging, push notification stuff is done on my iPhone. But I do have Q Status, which is a very simple app for letting you post to Facebook and Twitter at the same time. You could also add photos, videos, music information, and a whole bunch of other things. And of course, I do have the official Twitter client. I don't like Tweetbot because there's no iPad version yet, and it just seems cluttered. It doesn't seem as fast as it could be, so I just use the official Twitter client because it's free, fast, and it works perfectly. It just fits all my needs. In my internet folder, I have iSwifter, which is a really cool application. It basically gives you Firefox on your iPad 2 in a virtual environment. So you're connected to a server, I think in Washington State, a virtual copy of Linux, a very stripped down version of Linux, and it basically gives you Firefox, and it sends everything from the Firefox window over to your iPad 2. So it works great for Flash video, some Flash games. I use it for watching Justin.tv streams, Ustream videos, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So iSwifter, very nice web browser application for your iPad 2. Sort of hard to explain. You just have to buy it and try it. It is free, but you can only use it free for like 5 seconds until it asks you to buy it. So next up is LogMeIn. That's what I use for controlling my computer from wherever I am. Luckily, I was sent a promo code for the app, so that saved me $30. This is an expensive app, but if you use LogMeIn quite a bit, then the app will be worth that price point. But LogMeIn, it's just what I use for controlling my computers from wherever I am. Next up, I have the Justin.tv app, which is, I don't really use it a whole bunch anymore. I got it when it was free, but right now it's like $5 in the App Store. And even for those who pay for it, they still have to sit through the advertisements, which doesn't seem right. But right now, I basically just use it for watching or keeping track of my Justin.tv streams and chat rooms on the weekends when I'm streaming races. When you get over 2,000 people watching your stream, you want a simple way to keep track of the chat room. Next up, I have Pulse News, which is what I use for reading various articles from websites. It's a very nice RSS feed reader. Next up, I have Sling Player for the iPad. I've already done a video review of this. Basically just lets me watch live TV from my cable box wherever I am, thanks to the application. Next up, I have Speed Test. Sometimes I go to places where I have Wi-Fi access and I just like to see how fast it is. I'll just open up the Speed Test app and do a speed test. Finally, there is a games folder. There's only 5 games in here. I do have Cannibal. Hopefully you all know what that is by now. Next up I have Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart, the first one and the second one. I'm just a big fan of Crash Bandicoot, and I like the kart racing games. I like the first one more than the second one, but they're both really good games. Next up, I have the Game of Life HD for the iPad. If you watched my What's on my iPhone video, then you've already seen that one as well. Next up, I have Pinball HD. I bought this when it was only 99 cents. Very nice pinball app, very nice graphics and camera controls. Just a very nice pinball game. Play it occasionally. But that is about it. I have less than 20 apps installed onto my iPhone or iPad 2. I think I have only 19 apps on here, but I do use my iPad 2 a lot, and the apps that I do have installed I use quite a bit. So don't really have anything else I need to get at the moment, but there you go. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can leave them down below in the comments area, but that's about it for the video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.